की सब भक्तवृंद की So, dear devotees, welcome to this Sunday festival lecture. Actually, this will be more of a discussion because I am not qualified for giving a lecture, but I can discuss what I have learned from the Guru Janas, from the senior Vaishnavas. We can discuss. Most of you are very senior devotees, and I would like to pay my obeisances, my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Please accept my respectful pranam. And whatever I will speak, it will be Vani of the Guru Janas, senior Vaishnavas from Srila Prabhupada. And we just want to purify ourselves by discussing these subject matters. So we just want to take a very wonderful verse today. Yes, Prabhu. Oh, thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes. I think some of the part is not visible, but I will read out, no problem. एवं बुद्धे परम बुद्धा संस्थाभ्यात्मन आत्मनम् एवं बुद्धे परम बुद्धा संस्थाभ्यात्मन आत्मनम् आत्मना जाहि शत्रुम् महाभोकम रूपम तुरासदम Any Vaishnava or Vaishnavi?
Evam buddhe param buddhva samta yatmanam
Evam buddhe param buddhva samstavyam atmanam
Atmana jahi satrum maha
Atmana jahi satrum maha
Bahukama rupam dura sadam
Bahukama rupam durasadam. So anyone else? Evam buddhe param buddhva Jahi Satru Mahavaho Kamarupam Durasaram. Synonym Sevam Sa Evam Evam is thus Buddhe of true intelligence Param superior Buddhva knowing Samastabhya by studying. This also have a meaning subduing. Studying is subduing by controlling. And Atmanam, the mind. This Atmanam, actually this is a big term. If you see the Sanskrit dictionary, then in this Atmanam, no, it's not only mind, it's also body, mind, intelligent. Whatever is the gross body and our subtle body. So gross body is made up of the 5 elements like Prithvi, Vayu, Agni, Akas, water, all these things. So this body, our material body, plus subtle body, which is mind, intelligence, and false ego. This all comes under Atmanam. If I read also other commentaries and I found this meaning of Atmanam, that it is, but here it is signified by mind. And then Atmana by deliberate intelligence. Yes. Jahi conquer. Satrum the enemy. Mahabaho O mighty armed one. So here Sri Krishna is using the word Mahabahu for Arjuna. This is one of the name for Arjuna used by Krishna, because Arjuna is very powerful warrior, and there is a special, actually when Krishna is using some name for Arjuna in a specific verse, it has a meaning, it has some purpose. Why Krishna is using only this name in this conditions? I will come to this point. Kama Rupam, in the form of lust. Durasadam, formidable. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, that is Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is conclusively directive to Krishna consciousness by knowing oneself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without considering impersonal voidness and the ultimate end. In the material existence of life, one is certainly influenced by propensities for lust and desire for dominating the resources of material nature. Desire for overloading and for sense gratification is the greatest enemy of the conditioned soul. But by the strength of Krishna consciousness, one can control the material senses, the mind and intelligence. So here, when I was saying Atmanam, so this is coming here, one can control material senses. So senses are also coming with the mind. So earlier it was, in the translation it was only mind. Now here Prabhupada is writing material senses, also the Panchabhuta body, which are material senses, and the mind and the intelligence. So all the subtle body, gross body and subtle body, everything is included here. One may not give up work and prescribed duties of all of a sudden, but by gradually developing Krishna consciousness, one can be situated in a transcendental position without being influenced by the material senses and the mind. By steady intelligence directed towards one's pure identity, this is the sum total of this chapter. In the immature stage of material existence, philosophical speculations and artificial attempts to control the senses by the so-called practice of yogic postures can never help man towards spiritual life. He must be trained in Krishna consciousness by higher intelligence. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurve Namah. Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurituse Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate De Gopika Kantam Radha Kantam Namastute Tapti Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visbhanusute Devi Pranamami Namastute Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Siddhu Evacha Patita Nam Pavnebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. So actually this is a very wonderful verse. Prabhu, can we show this verse again? The last slide. Yes. Yes. So this verse is saying, like if we see the main message of this verse, this body which is made up of the 5 main elements, as I mentioned, Panch Mahabhut body, and then there is then there are senses in this body which are like 10 senses, gross senses. Then one is mind, and these senses are like for our knowledge senses and working senses. Knowledge senses are like our eyes. We can see the eyes, we can hear from the ears, hearing, seeing, speaking, touching, smelling. So these are the knowledge senses, and then we have working senses like hands, feet, and other working senses. Actually, we all are looking for happiness. So there is who is here in this room who is not looking for happiness? I think everybody will agree that we are all looking for happiness. But do we really get happiness all the time? It's very difficult, nah? So what is your answer? Do we all happy all the time? No. So we have some, unhappiness also, some miseries, some bad news also. We are getting older, we have disease, then there are some financial problems, job problems, then so many problems, and somebody in the relatives are dying always, somebody died, and suddenly we get such a bad news. So although the Jiva, which is the spirit soul, this is Satchid Anand, and Satchid Anand means that it is always blissful, always in bliss, always happy, and it is its nature to be happy. And since we are in this material existence, and due to avidya, we have forgotten our actual situation, our constitutional position, that we are the part and parcel of Lord, Supreme Lord. Due to our forgetfulness, we always get some miseries, because we are in the material conception of the life. And we are looking for pleasures, because this is our basic nature, to look for the pleasures. So we are seeking pleasures in this material world. And the problem is that with this pleasure in this material world, it's a temporary pleasure. Everything in this material world is a temporary. And if you get any pleasure, you get this pleasure by your gross material senses, like your eyes, your ears. You want to see some nice pictures, nice photos, nice scene, nice figures, beautiful figures, and you want to hear some nice music, wonderful, some music, rock, pop, whatever, some in this material world, what is available. And then we want to also taste something, different kind of chocolates, different, rasgulla, or whatever, you like, some like spicy, some like sweet. We want to taste, and we want to also watch and hear and say and taste. So all these senses which we use, there is a limitation. We cannot make unlimited joy with them. Some point comes, oh no, I don't, no more. You are watching the best movies, but one time you say, oh, how many movies I will watch? How much music I can listen? There is a limit to it. And how many rasgullas I can eat? And how much srikhand I can eat? I think this will come in that maybe during the prasadam. You will have a lot of sweets. Here the prasadam of Gauradesh is the best prasadam. So here it is spiritual prasadam, so you can eat a lot. But in the material world, when we eat something, there is a limit always. You cannot go beyond, because we have limitation of the material senses. And one more important thing is that there is a limitation. For every pleasure in this world, we have to pay the tax. There is always a tax. Either your health tax, your health, or your financial tax, or health tax, or anything, you get some return. There is always a reaction of every action. So whatever activities we are doing in this world, it's binding us here because of the reactions we are having. So, but our jiva means Atma, in the purest form, it is superior. So there are many energies of the Lord. One is called the superior energy of the Lord, and what is the inferior energy of the Lord. And jiva is actually superior energy in the spiritual world. It's a superior energy of the Lord, but due to influence of the Maya, it becomes marginal energy, because sometimes in Krishna consciousness, sometimes in the Maya. So it changes its position depending on its nature, psychophysical nature, and its association. So Jiva, although it's very powerful, and Jiva can control, Jiva can decide. Jiva is actually superior energy, so superior energy can subdue the material energy. And what is material energy? Our mind, our intelligence, our senses, they are all material energy. Whenever we want to do some pleasures, we want to seek pleasures, then with our material senses we give pleasures, and then our mind becomes the servant. Our mind want to follow what our senses want to do. Like we have Sabd, Spars, Roop, Ras, Gandh. Sabd means sound, Spars is touching, Roop is to see form, Sabd, Spars, Roop, Ras. Ras means taste, Gandh means smell. So whenever we want to do something like this, our mind helps it, because it becomes a slave. It is overpowered by our senses. And above the mind is intelligence. And when mind is not under control, intelligence, then because of the whole cycle, and normally Jiva should be able to control it. The Jiva has he's a superior energy, and it can control the inferior energy. But the problem is that Jiva, due to avidya, due to ignorance, due to its forgetfulness, it has forgotten its strong position, and it becomes a servant of the. Actually, Jiva is trying to enjoy now all these material things. It is not the nature of Jiva. Jiva is Satchit Anand, it's in bliss always. But now, because of contact with the impure intelligence, we can say impure, not intelligent. Intelligence is very good in the pure state, but impure intelligence, and then our impure mind, and then impure senses. So, because of this, the Jiva is now getting happiness in this world, and it is always searching, seeking. Actually, there is a very nice example. Maybe if we go to the next slide, Prabhu, next to next. Yeah, this is a very nice slide. This comes from the Kathopanishad. In the Kathopanishad, this is from Vedas. The appendix of the Vedas is Upanishads. And out of the 108 Upanishads, one is the Kathopanishad. In the Kathopanishad, there is a sloka, and this sloka says that there is a horse. There are these 5 horses. There is a chariot. And the Arjuna was on the chariot and Krishna was driving the chariot, and then there are 5 horses. So I am taking a general example here, in general. And the general example, these 5 horses and 1 chariot, and then these reins, these zeile, they are these strings which are controlling the horses. They are called in English reins. So there are reins is horse, reins. Then there is charioteer, who is driving, the driver. And then there is a passenger who is sitting. And in the Kathopanishad, there is a very nice sloka. And this sloka explains this chariot. So this sloka says, this chariot is our body. I think most of you know this analogy already. Yeah. But I'm just repeating because it sets the stage for the topic, what I want to choose today. So we have the body as a chariot. And then we have these horses, which are our senses. So in this case, there are 5 horses, so we have 5 senses. And the picture shows which senses are represented by them. And then the senses should be, as per Shastras, should be, as the Krishna made us, they should be controlled by the superior senses, which is internal sense, which is mind. Mind is a subtle sense. So gross senses and subtle senses. So these gross senses should be controlled by mind. And mind should be controlled by buddhi. And what is the mind here? Mind is actually the reins. This is the mind which is controlling the senses, the horses. And buddhi is the charioteer, the driver, which is the buddhi, intelligence. So intelligence is controlling the horses through mind. And who is the final controller, the final enjoyer? The final enjoyer or controller is the passenger who is sitting, the rathi. It is in German, in Sanskrit, it's called rathi. Rathi, charioteer, who is the main person who is the owner of the chariot, and then driver is driving him. So in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is the main passenger, and Arjuna is representing the Jiva. Jiva Tattva. And this charioteer who is sitting there, the main passenger, it is Jiva actually. And as I mentioned, Jiva should control Buddhi, driver. Jiva gives order, driver, do like this, go this way, left, right, this and that. And Jiva, then Buddhi tries. Buddhi gives instruction to the mind, which is the reins, these strings. And the strings are controlling the horse, the senses, and the senses controlling the body, the whole chariot. And when the Jiva, who is a passenger, is giving any instructions, it should work like this, because Jiva is the superior. But actually, is it really happening in the real life, in the real world, when we are under the conditioned condition? So when we are not conditioned, when we are Mukt Atma, when we are liberated, then it works. Jiva controls Buddhi, intelligence, and Buddhi controls mind, and mind controls senses. So this is the actually as per Shastra. But we are in conditioned stage. So in conditioned stage, we are now become servant of the Buddhi. And Buddhi has become servant of the mind. And mind has become servant of the senses. This is our situation. Now, the question comes, how to bring the spiritual understanding, the constitutional position. How to come to the constitutional position? This is the question now. That our soul, or we, our soul means we are the soul, so that we can control our Buddhi and mind. And Prabhupada says by spiritual practices, by Krishna consciousness, we can do it. But we have to do it more specific actually, because Krishna consciousness has many limbs, many anga, many practices. So one may get confused. Yeah, we can do by Krishna, but what should we do actually? What is the practical life? How should we objectively define this? So in the Shastras, it is mentioned that actually this Buddhi is the main interface. You know, the soul, when it is coming to the contact, the Buddhi, which is the driver, because soul is talking to this passenger is talking to the driver, and driver is doing the rest of the things. So if we want to run the chariot of our life, the body, like our life, then if the Buddhi is purified, if the Buddhi, if the intelligent has a power of discrimination, what is good, what is bad, what should be done, what should not be done. This is called discrimination. In Sanskrit, it's called Viveka. If we can develop Viveka, if we can purify our Buddhi, then the thing is solved. Then the whole puzzle is solved. Then everything will fall in place. Then we will, then Buddhi in the purified state, it will become controller of the mind, and mind will then become controller of the senses, and then body and everything. Then we will be engaged in the right activities, in our constitutional activities, what is prescribed as per the Shastras for the spirit soul, for the Jiva. So how to purify the Buddhi? In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhishmadev says, Bhishmadev is talking to Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Bhishmadev is saying to Krishna, because Krishna is saying, Bhishmadev is on the bed of arrows and laying down, blood is flowing, and it's the last day of his life. Krishna is in front of him, and Bhishmadev is doing a stuti, a prayer. It's a wonderful prayer. I will not do the whole prayer here. I will just do 1 or 2 lines. It's a very long prayer in first canto, 9th chapter, and it starts from verse number 36, I think. And yeah, pre-verse are also there, but 36 is the main prayer. And I think this is verse number 36 or 35. So it says, Iti mati upakalpita vitrasana. So Bhagavati Sadhvat, actually what Bhishma Pitamaha says, that hey Krishna, I want to marry my Buddhi. Iti mati upakalpate vitrasana. Iti mati means Buddhi, intelligence. It's mati. Iti mati upakalpate. Upakalpate means to engage. And there is another meaning of upakate. It's called to marry. When to engage in marry, we say the boy is engaged to the girl. and the girl is engaged to the boy. She is married to the, yes, they are married with each other. So Bhishma Pitamaha says to Krishna, Eti mati upakalpate vitrasna. I want to, now Bhishma Pitamaha is the last day of his life, last moment actually, not last day, last moment. He has lived 400 years or something in this, 400 or 380 something, so many years he lived his life. And now the last day, Krishna is standing in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and now, at the last, what will one say? He says the highest knowledge, yeah? When somebody in the last stage, and he's a Mahajana, he is the person who knows Dharma. Bhishma Pitamaha is one of the Mahajana. Mahajana means a perfected personality who is an example for the society. How one should behave, how one should deal, benchmark. That we can see him and we can deal like him, we can behave like, we can live a life like him. So there are 12 Mahajanas in the Bhagavatam, in the 6th canto, and one of the Mahajana like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Chatuskumar, Narada, Kapila, Sambhu, Brahmaji, Dharamraj, Yamraj, and we have Bhishma Pitamaha actually. So there are 12 Mahajana, and when a Mahajan at the last moment of the life, he is giving an instruction. It is very important instruction because this is the crux of this life. This is the summary, Sujaman Fasum. And he says, Iti mati upakalpita vitrasna. I want to marry. Oh Krishna, I have one desire to you. Krishna says, okay, old man, tell me now, you are anyway going, so tell me your last desire, I will fulfill. Because it's your last desire, so last desire should be always fulfilled. Krishna, my last desire is, I have a daughter. And then Krishna says, Pitamaha means old person, like grandfather. He was a grandfather of Pandavas. Na? So, Pitamaha, you are not married as I know. You never married in the whole life. You are a Bala Brahmachari. You are always celibacy. 400 years of your life, celibacy. So, you have a daughter? And Bhishma Pitamaha says, yeah, I have one daughter. Then what should we do? Tell me. He said, I want to marry my daughter with you. Bhishma Pitamaha he found a wonderful son-in-law. So Bhishma Pitamaha says, I want to marry my daughter with you. Iti mati, my buddhi, upakalpate, to marry. I want to marry with you. Vitrasna, and the Krishna asks, what is the characteristic of your daughter? I want to know the girl, how the girl look like, what are the qualities of the girl. When the boy want to marry a girl, he want to know the girl, na? Is she beautiful? What she do? And then Bhishma Pitamaha says, yeah, my daughter is Vitrasna. It is her quality. And Vitrasna means she's away from all sense gratification. She don't seek any sense gratification. She want to just engage completely in you. This is her quality. She want to completely give 100%. She want to be 100% for you. Because a girl is marrying to a boy, she should be 100% to that boy. If she has an extramarital affair, it is not good. You can follow me, na?
Yes. Courage.
That the girl should be 100% dedicated to the boy. Then the marriage is successful. Otherwise, marriage will be failed one day. And he said, my buddhi, my mati is, my daughter is 100% aligned, dedicated, absorbed in you, my son-in-law Krishna. So Bhishma Pitamaha want to marry his daughter. And now why I said this only one line from the whole, because this mati, this buddhi, which is the controller of the whole system, this needs to be purified. This needs to be engaged. How to engage? How to engage the mati? What is the way to engage the mati? And the Shastra says, Guru says, and Sadhu says. We follow Guru, Sadhu and Shastras. They say we can engage our mati, our buddhi by Harer Nama and Shastras, by study of the Shastras, by Harikatha, by studying the Shastras. So this is actually the point. So we should read the Shastras. Actually, I took the main theme of this class, actually, what is the importance of the Shastras and what is the position of Bhagavad Gita in that Shastras. So until now, Katha has not started. It was just an introduction session until now. Katha will begin now because the main purpose was to establish the importance of the Shastras. Why the Shastras are important? And the Shastras are important because if we engage our buddhi, our mind in the Shastras, then we can purify the buddhi and then we can live a spiritual life. Like Prabhupada says, by following the Krishna consciousness, by the spiritual strength, we can overcome the lust. This is in this sloka we studied just now. And what are actually the different Shastras? Prabhu, can we go maybe the next slide you can see? Yeah, actually in this class I want to go a little philosophical. I want to discuss with you our Shastras. What are the Shastras, the Vedic Shastras? And an overview, I just prepared this overview for this class. And this looks very complicated actually because there are so many things mentioned here. And this is not the complete actually because there were so many other things. I have to simplify it. And this is the simplified picture. Actually, this is what I am showing to you. So what are the Shastras? Because I am talking about Shastras because Krishna says, Vedaischa sarver aham eva vedyo. Vedaischa sarver aham eva vedyo. Vedanta krit vedvid ape aham cha. So Krishna says, from all the Vedas, from all the Shastras, I am to be known. So Krishna is Vedas actually. When Bhishma Pitama is saying, I want to marry my daughter, my buddhi to Krishna, so I am bringing that point. When I am discussing this Veda, it is not different from Krishna. We have to give our buddhi to Krishna. And how we can give? Because in Dwapar Yuga, Krishna was himself present there. And Bhishma Pitama can give the buddhi to Krishna because he was physically in front of him, personally available. With his Shyam Sundar form, with Radha Parthasarthi form, he was present there. But Krishna, unfortunately, is not here in this Kali Yuga as a Parthasarthi, as a Shyam Sundara. So, how we can realize Krishna? We can realize Krishna by our Shastras. Because Krishna says, Vedaischa sarver aham eva vedyo. In all the Vedas, I am to be known. I am the Vedas. The Vedas come from me. Vedas are not material. It is not that somebody has written the Vedas and then they can say, okay, in Vedas so many million verses are there. I add five verses more. I remove 5 verses less. No, it's impossible. We cannot add any verse in the Vedas, in the Shastras, in Bhagavad Gita. We cannot remove any verse. It is not man-made. It's apaurusya. Apaurusya. Paurus means purus. Like something like somebody has done it. Apaurusya means which is not made by any man-made. Here the purus means man and apaurusya means man, not by man. So it is not by a man. It is by Lord Krishna himself. Apaurusya. It's a divine origin. So Vedas, if you see, there are 4 Vedas. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. And these Rig Vedas, these different Vedas can be further divided in Upa Vedas. There are Upa Vedas also. And then there are 4 Upa Vedas actually. Yeah. And like, Ayurveda, like the life sciences, that medical and life sciences. We have Ayurveda, Dhanurveda. Dhanurveda means how the army works, how the military formation works. So there are different Vedas, different part of the Vedas which deals with different kind of sciences. It's all science. And I have come across from a very senior Vaishnava because this German army is based from the Rig Veda. They have learned this military formation and they have learned from Rig Veda because all the world, especially German government, they are studying the Vedas because Max Muller was in India and he has learned the Vedas, he has studied the Vedas, he learned the Sanskrit language. So he brought the Vedas here in Germany and they are doing lot of things with this Vedas. They are finding lot of secrets of the Vedas. So they are all scientific actually, but we have to decode them. The purpose is to decode. So German army, they get all the instructions, all the secrets, the decoding by Vedas. And then there is a Shastra which is called, Garbhadhan Sanskar, na? Garbhadhan Sanskar. So there is Shastra for this Garbhadhan Sanskar, how to get children, how to get pregnancy and progeny, the children. And there is Shastra for this. And this Shastra is also with German government actually. One of my senior, very senior, like he's one of the devotees in the Shastric expertise in ISKCON. He told that this Shastra is with German government, with how to do Garbhadhan Sanskar and how to have a good progeny, how to have good babies. Of course, I don't know they are using it properly or not. I'm not sure. But they got this valuable scripture from Vedic culture. So these are the different Vedas, and these Vedas are speaking different subject matters, like how to do yajna, sacrifices, Karam Kanda. Then there are Vedas dealing with Jnana Kanda, Jnana, knowledge. Karam Kanda is like fruitive activities, like I do something and I get something in back, reverse. So I do some yajna, I make demigods happy and I get in return something. Then there is Yajurveda. Then Yajurveda, we have this Upanishads. There are many Upanishads, they are from Yajurveda. Like Ishopanishad, Srila Prabhupada has written a wonderful commentary of Ishopanishad. And this Ishopanishad comes from Yajurveda. So this is the practically knowledge which is extracted from the Vedas. Then we have Samveda, like music and slokas and music science of music also included. Then Atharveda is like whatever, because these subject matters were divided, different subject matters. So originally, Vyasadeva has, originally it was one Veda, one bottle or one bag. In the one bag you have apple, mango, birna, like pears and kiwis. Then you have different fruits in one bag. It was given by Krishna to the Brahma. Yeah? Hirday Gyan, like Tene Brahma Adi Kavye. Yeah? In the first sloka of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Like the knowledge was given by Krishna to Brahma in the heart. So this was as a one piece, but Vyasadeva has segregated the knowledge as per the subject matters. Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharveda. So originally he made 3 Vedas, and then whatever was not fitting to this, whatever was left behind, different subject, allgemein, miscellaneous, general topics, then he put in the Atharveda, the last Veda. And then these Vedas actually, then there are these Puranas. Puranas is very important for us. Very, very important. Because Puranas, Vedas are very difficult to understand. Only some Brahmanas who are very, very educated, though know Sanskrit verses, they studied many, many years in the Gurukul, live a life of celibacy for 20-25 years. They learned this in the Gurukula, and mantra ucharana, and they learn all the Vedic Vidhi, and they then are allowed to, only the Brahmanas, the top Brahmanas, pure Brahmanas, they are allowed to recite the verses of Vedas, Vedic verses. They are entitled as per Shastras. But in the Kali Yuga, there are no Brahmanas. They are all born as Sudras. And then we have to uplift, depending on our psychophysical nature, we have to then get the different Varnashram. But by born, Prabhupada always says we are by born all Sudras. So we are not entitled to read the Vedas because we cannot pronounce the mantras. We don't know how to, there should be a proper phonetics, vocabulary, grammatic. It's very, very, and time, place, circumstances, purity. It's very, very complex subject matter. So what Krishna is very merciful actually, very, very merciful. Krishna says, I give, something for everyone. Krishna never leaves something alone, that okay, only those people can read Vedas and are eligible to take the jnana, the knowledge, the wisdom, and others are not entitled. It's not like this. Everybody is entitled to have the jnana, the knowledge. Because if we don't take the jnana, the knowledge, how we can establish our sambandha, our relationship with the Lord? Because there are 3 types of jnana: sambandha jnana, priyojana jnana, the sambandha, abhidhe and priyojana. that he Sambandh Gyan Abhidhe Gyan Prayojan. Sambandh means let we know our relationship with the Lord. Like Sambandh, what is our relationship? He is the Supreme Lord, He is the Father. Mama Ansa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Mama Ansa Jiva Loke. All the Jivatmas, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the seed-giving father of all the Jivas. I am the eternal father, and all are my sons. They can be any religion. They can be any form of life, like man or animal or insects or aquatic life or trees, plants. Everybody is my mama, and so everything is my answer, my part and parcel. And I am the Bij Pita Pita. I am the seed-giving father. So seed-giving father never make discrimination with the sons, with the children. So that's why Krishna has given Puranas, because he wants everybody should be able to learn. Those who are not the Brahmanas as per Vedic standards. Then in the Puranas, all the Vedic knowledge which is as a code, sutras, it is called sutra, Brahma Sutra. Yeah, Brahma. All the sutras, they are very difficult sutras. It is difficult, only very, very elevated Brahmanas can decode them, can learn, can get the practical knowledge out of it. Krishna made these Puranas. Yeah. So they are like Smritis, like Vedas are Shrutis and then we have Smritis. And from the Puranas, they have stories. They give the real knowledge, the Vedic knowledge from the life-changing stories, the moral stories. There are stories of the kings. There are stories of the devotees. Like we have Srimad Bhagavatam. There are total 18 Puranas. 18. And out of the 18 Puranas, there are 6 Puranas which are for the people, because there are so many varieties of the people. You know, there are 400,000 different consciousness. We say, 84 million species of the life. In the 84 million species life, like 10 lakh this, 21 lakh this, animals, aquatics, this. And then last comes the human form. There are 400,000 types of the human forms. So the consciousness levels are different. If we give the same Shastra for everyone, how they can understand? They will get bewildered. They cannot read. They will not feel motivation. So Krishna and Vyasadeva is also incarnation of Krishna. He has divided the Puranas in 3 categories. One category of the Purana, it comes under Tamoguna. The Puranas themselves are not Tamagunas. Please don't consider. Some people confuse and they get, this ISKCON people are saying Puranas are Tamaguna. No, Purana is not Tamaguna. Purana is always Suddha. Purana is pure. They are apurusya. They are transcendental. But they uplift the people who are in Tamoguna, in mode of ignorance. So there are 6 Puranas. I have not made a list here. But because the workshop will become very big. If I, on this slide, I can have maybe 7 days workshop. Only on this slide. Because each subject and each book can be described in detail. So these Puranas are 18. 6 are for people who are in mode of ignorance. 6 are for the people who are in mode of passion, Rajoguna. And 6 are those who are in the passion of, who are in the Satoguna. And one of the Purana who is part of the Satoguna is the Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana. And Sri Vyasadeva has written this Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana when he was in full maturity, when he wanted to give love of Godhead. Because in the other Puranas he has talked about Karam Kanda, with how to uplift from the lower level to the higher level for Tamoguna people, some yajna, some vrata, some kind of austerities, very difficult austerities, very difficult to do in Kali Yuga, these austerities. So these are mentioned there, but Sri Vyasadeva has then finally composed Srimad Bhagavatam, which has 18,000 verses, and this gives pure love of Godhead. And this is the mature fruit of all the Vedas. It is called Nigam Kalpataru. Nigam Kalpataru means Nigam means all the Vedas, and the Vedas are Kalpataru, the desired tree, desire fulfilling tree. The Vedas are desire fulfilling tree. And what is the final fruit of this desire fulfilling tree? The main fruit, because Vedas are tree, and tree has like leaves, and then they have asterisk, the branches, the wood and stem and the roots. Tree has everything, and it is not useful. Everything is not useful, but the fruit is useful. Final aim is the fruit. Yeah, in the mango tree, the mango and then from this mango there is a kernel, there is a seed in the mango, then big seed, yeah, and then there is a lot of skin there. You remove everything and you get the juice of the mango. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. From the whole tree, you get the juice of this mango. The tree is the Vedas, and then you get the juice as Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the situation of our, the Acharya has given Srimad Bhagavatam, and also the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is also the essence of all the Vedas. It's a summary, it's a Sujaman Fasung of all the Vedas. So Puranas, I told, they are the decoding of the Vedas. We have decoded in from the stories, like lineage of the kings, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Kunti Maharani, then we have Gajendra Katha, then we have Chitra Kuta Maharaj, Yayati Maharaj. We have so many stories of the kings, how to develop loving relationship with the Lord, how to live a Grahastha life in the Grahasthashram, in Vanaprastha, in the Varnashram system, and then uplift to the higher level. So these kings teach us these stories, and the devotees teach how to do the devotional service. So this is how the Puranas are, the Vedas are decoded to make Puranas. And then there is Itihasa. In the Itihasa means, Iti means it has, Iti means what has happened already. Itihasa, take place. Itihasa means what has taken place, means history. It's a history. Itihasa means history. You see, Purana, Itihasa. So history is which has happened after some years ago. It can be some 1,000 years or some 100 years or some days. History is history. So one of the history is Ramayana. Ramayana is a history. Lord Ram, the Katha of Lord Ram. Everybody knows this. And then the another history which was just 5,000 years ago, Mahabharata. This is a history. Mahabharata. And it has really happened. Mahabharata has really happened. It has, because that's why it's called Itihasa. This what has happened. Some people say the Itihasa, it's a, how they use the word, very mythology. This is a very famous word, mythology. It is not mythology. It is very bad to use mythology, because there is a proof. It is all proven. There is every scientific proof of where like this Mahabharata has taken place. So, and then there are Dharma Shastras. Dharma Shastras like Manu Smriti and different Smriti, Garga Smriti, Parasar Smriti. There in the Smritis we have, law codes, how a person should deal, how a person should live. What are the, if somebody make a papa, sins, then how to overcome the sins, what is the prayaschitta, atonement. All these are described in the Dharmas, how to give punishment. The king was giving punishment to the citizens by studying the Dharma Shastras. Dharma Shastras, it's written there. Like Manu Smriti is one of the Dharma Shastras. The law book, the constitution, Farfasum, constitution, this is called Dharma Shastras. There is not much bhakti there, but this is important to run the society. How to run the society, how to run a human life, how to maintain the Varnashram system, the duties of king, duties of woman, duties of a Brahmana, or duties of a administrator class, duties of husband and wife, children. So everything is in Dharma Shastras, and it is the law book. But what we were discussing is like Puranas and Itihasa. And if we come further, actually there are also these, today's class is less time, like there are darsana, these 6 limbs of philosophy, like Nyaya, Visesika, Yoga, Samkhya, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. I think I need a second class to discuss, because it's a long subject matter. If we, if you will desire, we can take another class that we discuss the other philosophies, because they are very big actually, and each philosophy will need time to discuss. We can discuss this philosophy from Vaishnava point of view, how a Vaishnava looks, what the mood of a Vaishnava, and how our Acharya has described these like. And then each Vedas has 6 kind of Angas, Vedangas, like it's on the left side. 6 kind of Angas, limbs, 6, each Veda has 6, or each Jnana, each knowledge has 6 kind of limbs. Siksha, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotish and Kalpa. These are called Ved Angas, the limbs of Angas. And Siksha means, Siksha is how to pronunciate, how to like phonetics, na? Like it's a law of how to speak a mantra, how to learn. Like there are these. When we have the script, these like Devanagari or maybe A, B, C, D, you can say, or like these Swara and Vyanjana, consonant and vowels and consonants, then there is a different way. Each vowel, each consonant has a different way how to speak. Like where the tongue is touching, like we say ka, the sound comes from the kant, from this throat. Ka, kha, ga, gha, like this in Sanskrit. And then we have ta, then the sound comes from the tongue is touching the teeth. Ta, tha, da, dha. Then you say pa, then the lips are touching. Pa, pha, ba, bha. And this is all learning in Siksha. This is called Siksha, how to pronunciate. And this is a big part of the Vedas, because if you don't know how to pronunciate, we can make mistakes. And we should try to pronunciate correctly. So this is Siksha, phonetics. Phonetics. Then there is Vyakarana. I will see if there is a next sloka where we can. In the Vyakarana, actually this is called grammar. Rules of grammar, you know all. Yeah. So without grammar, how to know the slokas? I will give one example, the importance of the Vyakarana. Very important. Prabhu, can you move? Yeah, grammar. Yes. So this is one example. This is very, very important to know why we should know grammar. What is the use of the grammar? This Vyakarana and this verse, I took one example just. And this verse says, Avyaktanam vyaktim apanam. Avyaktanam vyaktim apanam manyate mam abuddhaya. Param bhavam ajananto Mamavyam anuttama. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. So Krishna is saying here to Arjun, oh Arjun, these people, Avyaktanam vyaktim apanam manyate mam abuddhaya. This red one, mam abuddhaya. They say, though there are people who think I was avyakt. Avyakt means like I was unmanifested. I was Brahma Jyoti. I was a light. And then I become a person out of the light. Such foolish people think like that. That the origin of everything is a light, like impersonal, and then personal. God comes from the impersonal. And Krishna says those people are foolish. This is the meaning of this sloka. Those who think that I come from the impersonal Brahman and now I become a person, yeah, with a vigraha, with a form, those people are murkh, they are foolish. This is the meaning, this is the original meaning which Prabhupada has given as it is. This is called Bhagavad Gita as it is. But the other versions of the Bhagavad Gita, when the people don't understand the grammar or don't read grammar properly or misuse the grammar, some people they know grammar very well, they are Pandita, but they want to misuse because they want to use their mental concoction, they want to satisfy themselves, not Krishna. What they do like this, manyate mam abuddhaya. So what they do, they remove the a from abuddhaya and they put mama, and then buddhaya. So what they do, they remove a from abuddhaya and they make buddhaya. And this means those who think that because when we put a, it makes opposite meaning, and when we remove a, it will change the meaning opposite. So abuddhaya means unintelligent, less intelligent, murkh, foolish. And when we say buddhaya, we remove the a. We can add the a with mama. Then it becomes mama. It still remains mama. You can pronounce it mama. With a comes to mama, and then this abuddhaya will become buddhaya. And this will become, I come from impersonal and now I become impersonal in this material world. These people are intelligent. This becomes like this. Those who think that I, the personal form of Krishna, the Shyama Sundar, I came from impersonal, those people are intelligent people. this meaning will change. Actually, Krishna want to say those people are unintelligent. But when we remove a and put the a with the mam, and then become buddhaya, then it will say those people are intelligent. But it is not correct. And this is the misuse of grammar. This is what the impersonalist people have done. In the whole Bhagavad Gita, they have done like this. That's why we should read Bhagavad Gita as it is, which Srila Prabhupada has given us, and our Acharya has given us. This Bhagavad Gita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, has taught to his disciples, and then it comes further. So this is the authentic version of the Bhagavad Gita, which we should. This is actually, we should be very careful. That's why I took this one example. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, how to. And the second part is called. Prabhu, can you next? Yeah, Vedanga. The second is etymology. The etymology is Nirukta. Maybe I think this is the same. Okay. I think I want to take a different example. Maybe. This one. Okay, it's perfect. Yeah. So this example, this says, Nainam chiddanti sastrani, Nainam dahati pavakah, na chainam kaledyantu api, na soshati marutah. Nainam, na inam. Here nam is never, inam means this. Inam means this. Inam doesn't mean soul. Prabhupada has written here, inam means this soul. This is Prabhupada's actually expression. But in general, the inam means this. Na inam, nainam, chaddanti sastrani. This soul cannot be destructed, cannot be cut into pieces by the weapons. So this cannot be cut by the weapons. This is the meaning actually. But this word, how we should know what is this actually? Anybody can say this is body, this is this, because one has to know the context. In which context? This is chapter 2. In the chapter 2, Krishna is speaking about the nature of the Atma, nature of the soul. Discussion is going on about the soul. And that's why our Acharya says, Inam is this soul. We are talking about soul. Na inam. Otherwise, if somebody who don't have the context, who don't have the spiritual knowledge, and he want to make a translation, he can say anything. Inam is like this body, inam is this, that, and like this misinterpretation can come. So this is called Nirukta. Nirukta means we should try to make a context. The real sense, prospective. It's prospective. How to make a right perspective. That we know the right perspective. How to understand the things. That's why we should always learn under the acharyas, under the parampara, because they know the science. Because it has come from Krishna to Brahma, to Vyasadev, to Narada, to Vyasadev, then to Madhvacharya, and then it comes in a parampara to the guru-disciple parampara. Krishna says that this parampara was lost, this succession is lost. That's why I am giving this knowledge to Arjuna again, so that we can re-establish this parampara again. Otherwise, we will always make mistakes. So we have to interpret, and this is part of the Vedanga, Nirukta, etymology. Then there are other parts also. Prabhu, can we go back? Maybe. I think maybe I take 5 more minutes to then further back maybe to the Veda slide. Where the Vedas? Yeah. Yes. So then Siksha, Vyakarana, Nirukta. Then Chandas. Chandas are meter. Like how to speak a verse. There is a music, there is a rhythm. Like, for example, Mahamantra we take. Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So this has, each line has 8 letters. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Ram. Each has 8, and then total 32 letters. Total 16 words and 32 letters. So each line has 8 letters. So there is a rhythm actually. So we have to speak each word very, very clearly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. So this is actually Anuprasthi. This is this is a special chanda. This is a meter. So if we don't use the meter, then we make it false. And for example, say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then what we do? These 32 letters. We have 32 letters. We make 30 because we change something. Sometimes we make 28. Then the whole meaning will change. Then you don't get that effect. The japa don't give the effect. The japa can give the effect when we clearly pronounce each letter, each word, and then we make in a proper chanda. And that's why in our shastras there is a separate Vedanga. This Vedanga, like there is a chandas. There is a big chapter in the Vedas which is only teaching how to pronunciate. And in Bhagavad Gita there are slokas with different, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana ma karam phal heturbhuma te sangatsav karma. So there is each sloka has a different meter. Karpanya doso pahata sobhavam pichhami mam sammuna cheta. So you see different like songs, na Bollywood songs, Hollywood songs, like the meter changes. You know that from that example. Sanskrit slokas also the meter changes. So you have to speak in the right meter, and then you get the real essence, then the effect becomes very pure. Then the knowledge comes, and this is taught in the Vedas, everything, how to understand, how to speak. And then we have this Jyotisa. Jyotisa, some people think Jyotisa is just like astronomy, na? How to like my palmistry, like some Jyotis, what time I should marry, what time I should, when child is born on a particular time, what should be the name, what time we should open the fasting, what should close the fasting. This is kind of like astrologically we see the chart, but the best time. But Jyotis also mean, Jyotis is not only this astrology, it is also mean how we should do the things, how should we perform our duties. This is also part of the Jyotish Shastra. How we should behave, how should we act. This is also Jyotish Shastra. What is the dharma? So there are two types of dharma. One is Dehik dharma and one is Bhagavad dharma. So Dehik dharma is the dharma of the body. This material world, we have a body, so we have to fulfill some duties. We have to be part of varnashram system. We have to be father, we have to be mother, we have to be man, woman, brahmana or kshatriya or something. So these varnashrama. So these, we have specific duties for this, and Krishna says we have to do these duties. We should not leave these duties, and this is comes under this Jyotish Shastra, how we should perform all our duties. And then we have also Kalpa. So Kalpa is maybe I will just check for more specific. So the Vedic rituals, how to perform the Vedic rituals, this comes in the Kalpa. How the performance and the personal conduct, this also comes in this part. And we have this, in the Jyotish also comes like in which guna we are, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and Satoguna, and how we should improve ourselves. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 17th chapter, Krishna has described different gunas. Like this jiva comes in mode of ignorance, mode of goodness, mode of passion. And Krishna has described so nicely how should we eat, what should we eat. There are different types of foods, like food which is in the tamoguna, mode of ignorance, which is the bad, which is very bad, and then Rajoguna, little better. Then the Satoguna food is the most nutritious, most enriching or nurturing. This is the Satoguna, so we should eat Satoguna foods. So Krishna has told in 17th chapter different type of gunas, like there is a knowledge also different gunas. Na? I told there are 3 different category of Puranas. In the Tamoguna, Rajoguna, Satoguna, mode of ignorance, mode of goodness, mode of passion. So knowledge is also different kind of knowledge, 3 different. Then there is a time. Time is also, during the day we have 24 hours. And this is divided in 3 gunas, like morning session in Brahma Muhurat until morning, it is Satoguna, it's the best time for the sadhana. We should use this way. So the best time for sadhana, for doing japa, for reading sastras, for doing some deity worship, so this is morning time. This is satoguna, mode of goodness. Then we have the time period during the day when it becomes rajoguna, like mode of passion. Then we can work in the office, we can accomplish some task, rajoguna. This is also okay because we have to do some duties also in varnasam. So we have to, then it becomes rajoguna during the day, and during the night it becomes tamoguna, mode of ignorance. So when we do japa in the night, it is not the best quality japa because the time itself, you cannot control it. You cannot control it. It's just made like this. It is there. You cannot say, okay, I will create tamoguna in the, satoguna in the night. No, you cannot create. In night is tamoguna. It is for rakshasas, for the demonic people who have demonic qualities. They work overnight. Demons don't sleep. They sleep in the day, during the morning they sleep, and the night they awake. So we should use, actually everything is given in Bhagavad Gita. How should we use our timings? How should we use the food? How should we get the knowledge in different modes? How should we do donations? Different type of donations, like donations in Satoguna, donations in Rajoguna. How to do in Tamoguna, there are donations like, we do for only name, fame, donations. I want to, my name should become in the paper that I donated. This is Rajoguna. This is not Satoguna donation. So everything is described by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita very nicely. And I will, now the Angas are finished. Maybe through we can go a few slides later. It's difficult to, one more slide we have to show. Last slide maybe. No, last slide maybe. Is there some more? No further. Yes, this slide. So there are actually different matters, subject matters. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita there are total 700 slokas, and Krishna has spoken some 500 something slokas. Then some slokas are by Arjuna. Then Sanjay has spoken, the secretary of Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra has spoken just one sloka. The first sloka from Bhagavad Gita is Dhritarashtra out of 700. And here there are 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita, and one of the subject matter is Jiva, living entity. What is Jiva? What is our constitutional position? And if the Jiva is eternal or non-eternal. So this is all discussed in the Bhagavad Gita about characteristics of the Jiva. In the chapter 2 is described about the characteristics of the soul. Like I discussed na, Nayanam Chidyanti Sastrani, Nayanam Dheti Pavaka, Chayanam Kalardyopi. So this is all the characteristics of the, like this is eternal, this is unsoluble, this is immeasurable. This is all called qualities of the Jiva, about the Jiva. And Jiva is not temporary, Jiva is like eternal, it is always there. Krishna says to Arjuna, like I was also always there and you were also always there. I know all my lives, all my births, but you don't know, you have forgotten, because Jiva comes in forgetfulness, in avidya, in ignorance. So this is the position of the Jiva described in Bhagavad Gita, explained. Then karma, what is karma? What is action? There are different types of karma, like there is a karma sakarma, like fruitive activities. Then there is a vikarma, which is against shastras. If we do something against shastras, which is vikarma, which is not to be done. And then we have like karma, which is sakarma, like fruitive activities which we do for our gain, for our sense pleasures, for our benefit, material benefit. This is sakarma. Then we have vikarma, which is against the shastras. And then akarma. Akarma means we do the activities but they don't bind us. We do that activities in full knowledge, for pleasure of the Lord, for pleasure of the devotees. When we do such things for the pleasure of Krishna, for pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead, for the pleasure of the Supreme Soul, then the soul don't get the fruitive result. Then don't bind us. This is akarma. And we should always do akarma. And all this subject matter is explained in Bhagavad Gita. And then we have Prakriti. So Prakriti is it eternal or non-eternal? What do you think, Prakriti? Non-eternal. What others says? Prakriti is eternal or non-eternal? Nature, material nature.
I mean, this is has eternal. It's always there, but it's not. It's always changing. It's it's always there. Like Prakriti is material, but it cannot be eternal. But material world is always there, actually. From that point of view, it is eternal.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It's a wonderful answer, the perfect answer. Actually, it looks, sometimes we think, yeah, this material world is temporary, you know, this is temporary, everything is temporary. This is temporary because it gets manifest and unmanifest. But it is always there. It is temporary because it becomes unmanifest. It's there. It's there in the Vishnu, it's there in the Lord, but it is always unmanifest and manifest. So it's eternal. The material world, and this nature of the material world is described in Bhagavad Gita. It's described in great detail. What is nature? What is material world? And what are the characteristics of the material world? Then we have Kala. Kala is the last, which is hidden here inside. The Kala is eternal time, the cycle of the time. It is always moving. And everything is happening by time. All the gunas like Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun, they are also, you know, moving by Kala, by nature. So the Kala Chakra. And this Kala Chakra is making us to work. The Jivas are working because the Kala is moving. The time is moving. Then we have Iswara. Iswara is Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the controller of everything, and Iswara is also eternal. So Jiva is eternal, Prakriti is eternal, and Supreme Personality of Godhead is Iswara is eternal, and Kala is eternal. These four factors are eternal. But karma is non-eternal. Karma can be finished by akarma, by doing the activity in knowledge. When we do activity in knowledge, then we can bring the karma to the end. So this is the 5 subject matters, and we should read Bhagavad Gita. Actually, in the new year, Bhagavad Gita is the greatest gift of our acharyas. It is the essence of all the Vedic knowledge, of all the Vedas and Shastras. We have discussed Puranas, Itihasas, and this has really happened. It is also part of Itihasa from Mahabharata. And that's why it is also called Itihasa. It is also Shruti, because Krishna has himself told to Arjuna, Shruti, like hearing. So it is also part of the Shruti. So Bhagavad Gita has many dimensions, and it gives, it's a manual of the life, the human life, how to lead a successful life. Like, you know, every machine, when a machine comes, like a refrigerator or a TV fridge, like you have a manual, user manual. Manufacturers use how to use it, how many volt power we have to put, how to close, how to clean, how to switch on, switch off, how many hours it can work. So for example, similarly for the Krishna has given us this body, and Krishna has also given the user manual. So Bhagavad Gita is our user manual, and we should use our body as per the user manual. Like we use a refrigerator as per user manual, and we don't put 440 volt because it needs only 220 volt. So similarly, if we will break down, if we don't use as per user manual, so our body also, if we don't use a user manual, which is Bhagavad Gita, we can destroy our body. We can destroy this human form of the life. This human form of the life is most expensive, most precious. We got this life to know the higher truth, to know the supreme, and we should use the human form of life for that. And for that, we should use Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. And actually, the Prabhupada book distribution marathon is also going on. So we should also distribute this Bhagavad Gita actually more and more. And we should also sponsor, we should distribute, we should read ourselves. It is said that in one of the Shastras, if somebody read Bhagavad Gita, then verses, actually, if we read Bhagavad Gita, or we have Ganga Jal, Ganga water, or Charnamrit in our mouth, then we never see Yamraj. Then Yamraj never think of us. Normally Yamraj thinks of the jivas who are doing some karmas, then he take to the hell and give the punishment, and then they come Vidar Gabut, new life. But if we read Bhagavad Gita, it is written in the Shastras, then we Yamraj don't look at, only Krishna looks at us. So then we become Krishna's associates. So this is a very important, and we should read it regularly. And we are starting a new course on Bhagavad Gita in Gauradesh temple. We want to create an interest in the new people who are joining the temple and who are coming to the programs. We want to create the interest in the Bhagavad Gita. So we have created a wonderful course, and this course is Bhagavad Gita overview course. So this course is 18 chapters in 18 days. So there are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita, and we can complete in 18 days. So every Saturday at 6:30. So we have Gaura Aarti in the temple. Gaura Arati start at 6 o'clock in the temple, and 6:30 Gaura Arati finishes and Narasimha Arati finishes, and then we start with this Bhagavad Gita on Saturdays. And the first class is 18th of January, because it has 18 chapters, 18 days, and we start from 18 January. So this is not something coincident. I think Krishna wants us to start on 18 January. And the 18 January is Saturday. Please come to Gauradesh temple, participate in the Gaura Arati, in Narasimha Arati, and then we will discuss the first chapter, the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, then we go chapter by chapter, each Saturday one chapter, and we are connecting the chapters with each other. What is the main essence of each chapter, how we can develop our consciousness, higher taste, and how we can understand the dialogues between Krishna and Arjuna. Sometimes it's difficult to understand by our own understanding and senses, because we don't have that much higher wisdom. So we need the shastras, we need our acharyas, so we can connect the verses, Krishna and Arjuna dialogues, interconnection between different chapters, chapter 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and what are the practical life lessons. And so many scientists, great philosophers, great personalities have read Bhagavad Gita, and they have made their life successful by reading Bhagavad Gita. So we should also try that in 2025, we should also make a commitment that we read all Bhagavad Gita together, and an overview. And this overview gives you a real insight into the Bhagavad Gita. Then you will get an interest to read slok by slok. After you read, then you can go in detail. So thank you very much. I thank you everybody that for your patience listening. I exceeded that time. I'm sorry for this, but you are a patient listener, and I would like to thank you everybody of you to listen and blessing me to speak on this subject matter. And if I have spoken any good things, anything which is useful for you, this is from the Gurujanas, from senior Vaishnavas, from sadhus, and if I have made any mistakes, then please forgive me, and this is my mistake. Whatever I made mistakes, this is my own responsibility, and whatever good things I spoken, this is from Gurujanas, from senior devotees. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Bhakt Vrind ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, Prabhu, yes, please.
One question.
Yes, Prabhu.
My question is regard to your explanation about the pronunciation of mantra in the songs. And sometimes I heard from Maharajas how they pronounce, how they change the rounds. And it was absolutely clear by the process. I saw that the process, the mind was absolutely captured by the process, yes? But from his lips, from their lips, I can hear that only some songs, and my question is, what is first, what is the path for our life, for our happiness, pronunciation or the deep mind?
This is wonderful question, Prabhu. This is really very wonderful. Actually, japa can be done in 3 levels. One is the very clear and loud. It's called I have maybe, because there are 3 types of japas, 3 different level of japas.
Manasa.
Yeah. One is called Vachika Japa. This is mentioned by by our acharyas in the Shastras. Vachika Japa, Upamsu Japa, and Manasa Japa. And Vachika Japa is actually the when we are loud and speaking Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And everybody is listening us. This is called Vachika Japa. And then the second Japa is called Upamsu Japa. Upamsu Japa is when only you can hear. You are chanting Japa and only you can hear, your ears can hear attentively. Each word is clear to your ears. This is called Upamsu Japa. And then called Manasa Japa. Somebody also told out of you. Manasa Japa. And this is Smranam. This is going on constantly in the mind. This is always going on. Ananta Chintantu Mam. Like Krishna says, na, Ananta, like constantly going on the mind. So this is called Manasa Japa. It is a very high level. Actually, Manasa Japa is the topmost, but this can be achieved by a very advanced stage of the transcendental sadhus or Gurujanas, very advanced. And then there is Upamsu Japa, which is actually the best for the sadhaka, Upamsu. Because this Vachika, it is louder, it disturbs the others. Because if we are doing japa, for example, we are in temple community and we are doing japa and we speak Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, then everybody listening us, I am there to listen my japa. I am not here to listening others japa. Because if I listening others japa, then I need not to chant. I will just sit and others are chanting. Then I can just sit because I am already listening to others. So why should I chant? This is not good. So when we are doing in temples, we should not do Vachika japa, never. Because it disturbs the others. This we can do when we are alone. If you want to do Vachika japa, then there is a trick. Then you do Kirtana. Then you come together and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Then this has become Vachika. Because then it becomes loud. Then you can all sing together. This becomes Kirtana. So then I think Upamsu is the best one. Our sadhus have said. And Upamsu, you just hear the other person don't hear. This is the best way. And as far as the pronunciation is concerned, Prabhu, I want to make one thing clear here. It is good to have a good pronunciation. It is always good to have. But I don't want to demotivate you all. Really. Krishna is Bhava Grahi Janardana. Krishna accepts the Bhava. Krishna accepts the emotions. Krishna accepts our feelings, our heartly feelings. If we give our heart to Krishna, He accepts. And then when you chant His name with a full absorption, even if you are not pronouncing correctly, if there are some mistakes, because Sanskrit is very difficult and we don't have a proper training of the Sanskrit, we cannot chant with Sanskrit rules and regulations. So Krishna has given, especially this Mahamantra, this is given for the Kali Yuga, for the masses, for the unintelligent people also. So this can be chanted. There is no mistakes counting here. It works with the bhava, with the heart-to-heart connection. Golokera Premdhan Harinam Sankirtan. So this is the Premdhan, this is the love of God from the Golok Dham, from His Dham for us. And when there is a love, there is no condition. Do you know that I love you with condition? No, in the love there is no condition. And when Krishna says Golokera Premdhan Harinam Sankirtan, then the rules, regulations, conditions don't apply. Then it's one-to-one connection. If we are making mistake in pronunciation, we say Krishna, like, in China they say differently, in Russia they say differently, in India, in US, every country has a different way of saying Krishna. So Krishna take it same. Krishna never say, oh, you speak wrong, or it should be Krishna. No. Krishna don't say like this. So pronunciation we can do as per our own accent, but bhava is important. And sometimes I give one example. Sometimes small child, when he's talking now with the parents, he say, papa. So he says something like which is not completely correct. I don't know how to. I have only examples of Hindi. This tutla ke bolna, tutla ke. How can I say in English this? Tutla ke bolna. Stuttering. So like a small child, he cannot clearly speak. He's very small. He's just learning how to walk. So he say this stuttering. Like he don't say papa properly. Papa, mama. So and mama, papa is very happy. Even if he's not pronouncing correctly. But they are so happy. Oh, my child is taking my name. He's calling me. The mama is happy. Similarly, Krishna is happy when we are calling him. It is important. So Prabhu, don't worry. If our pronunciation is not correct, we should continue. Hari Bol. Yes, and sorry, there is not much time for many questions. But if you are able to attend Bhagavad Gita class there, then we can take a lot of discussions, lot of questions, and yes, looking forward to see you all. Hare Krishna. Sakal Tarvasya Kripa Siddham Vayam Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaisnavibhyo Namo Namah.